Well, hi guys, welcome to this Moneycontrol live stream. It's a brand new week and we are entering the brand new week on a high, given the fact that the Nifty clocked the 12th straight, day of gains. Whether or not the Nifty will get a 13th time lucky and see gains today or not, well, we'll have to wait and watch. But of course, lots of action. Nifty did hit a fresh high on Friday and we did start the September series on a high. But remember, if you look at the seasonality factor, September isn't such a great month for the markets. Can the Indian market, really defy the seasonality and clock in gains this month as well? Because August turned out to be a very good month for the market. Of course, lots of stocks in focus. We've had auto sales figures trickling in since yesterday. We'll take stock of, four-wheelers and two-wheelers that have reported sales figures for the month of August. We'll also be taking stock of some of the stocks that are in news on the back of corporate action. The stocks like Gujarat Gas, which have seen an amalgamation, and all your other stock-related queries will also be in focus. If you have any queries, keep them coming in on a live feed on YouTube. We'll try and take them up. But of course, before we do all that, let's take a look at the top headlines at this hour. Wall Street ends higher on Friday, clocking a fourth straight month of gains. The Dow, in fact, hit a fresh lifetime high following an in-line PCE inflation print. Asian markets open mixed, while the GIFT Nifty is suggesting a slightly higher start for the Indian market. Crude prices continue to correct. Brent falls to around $76 a barrel on expectations of lower demand from China and the United States. Meanwhile, gold loses some luster as dollar and 10-year yield strengthens. Market regulator SEBI revises thresholds for stocks entering or exiting the F&O segment. Median quarter Sigma order rise is increased to 75 lakh rupees from 25 lakh earlier. The market-wide position limit is revised to 1500 crore rupees from 500 crore rupees earlier, while average daily value over the last 6 months is hiked to 35 crore rupees from 10 crores earlier. And India's first quarter GDP slows to a 15-month low of 6.7%, but this is largely in line with estimates. Despite the slowdown, India remains the fastest growing major economy in the world. Well, those were the top stories at this hour, but just quickly taking you through the trade setup, we saw the market gaining for the third consecutive week. In fact, the market saw the biggest weekly gain in 2 months. IT, Realty, Pharma, these were the sectoral indices that gained somewhere around 3 to 4% on a weekly basis. As I mentioned at the start of the show, the markets were gaining for the 12th straight day, longest gaining streak in 31 years. Whether or not we get a 13th time lucky or not, we'll wait and watch for that at 9:15 a.m. And of course, how we manage to end the day, that will decide that. Market cap of BSE listed companies is rather at a record high of 464 lakh crores. And if you look at the Nifty record high, that has shifted to 25,263. And given the fact that the GIFT Nifty is indicating a higher start, you never know whether we manage to clock that 25,300 mark today itself or not. Of course, in terms of the FNOQs, the put call ratio fell to 1.41 vis-a-vis 1.42 in the previous session. And look at the stocks in FNO ban. Hardly, you just have one stock, Balrampur Chini, that's in the FNO ban today. That's a new entrant. No stocks have been extended or have been kept in the FNO ban from previous days, and there have been no exits as well. In terms of fund flows, FIIs were net buyers to the tune of 5,300 crore rupees in the cash market on Friday, and DIIs on the other hand were net sellers to the tune of 3,200 crore rupees in the cash market. But on that note, let me bring on board our guest for today. Joining me is Kunal Rambhia, who's the fund manager at the Streets. Kunal, great to have you on the show. What is it looking like? Do you think we are going to defy the September seasonality? So this time around, would you be saying, wake me up, after September ends, or would you say that, bring it on, September is going to be a good month?
Good morning, Nandita. Good morning to all our viewers. So, let's just go back and talk about a market a month before. That's on 5th of August when there was a worry and the clouds were looming on ahead about the carry trade surprise. From there, the markets are up by around 1,300 points approximately on the Nifty front. And this rally was, the most hated rally most of the time. As we have seen in this month, because people were scared, people were worried about what will happen next, but the trend continues. So, just to make our discussion a little easy, I would say that till the time this trend is on, there should not be any worry. On the levels front, let's just talk about the Nifty support level, which is at around 24,900. Till the time the market takes care of this particular level of 24,900, buying on dip can be a good strategy. And the sectors and the counters which we have not seen the performance so far, I think the September month is going to be for those counters now.
Okay, the stocks that have not really managed to see a run up, September could be the month for those. But on the Nifty Bank, we've seen intermittent bouts of gains, but those gains have not really been able to sustain. Although Friday was a positive day for the Nifty Bank index, but it did come off session high. So do you think September is the month when Nifty Bank will manage to fire up as well?
Absolutely. Bank Nifty is actually far away from the previous high, which we saw on 4th of July. The high was, I think, around somewhere near to 53,300 levels. Right now, we are at 51,500 kind of levels. So I think this index should catch up now in the month of September. And I'm very bullish on the entire PSU segment. The only reason being the risk reward ratio is extremely favorable. And, one can find out the best of those counters which are offering risk reward ratio of almost 1 is to 5, 1 is to 6. With the minimum risk, you can actually participate in the Bank Nifty for the upcoming rally.
Okay, right. That's about the bank Nifty, but autos are in focus. Quickly take you through the sales figures. It was a sluggish month for four wheelers. Once again, Tata Motors saw an 8% downtick in total sale. Misses estimates. CV sales were down 15%. Passenger vehicle sales were down 3%. Even for Maruti, for that matter, 4% down on a YY basis. The sales figures for the month of August, although they are largely in line with expectations, but exports were up somewhere around 5.5%. But two wheelers, saw a good run rate when it comes to sales, and two wheelers, of course, are doing much better than four wheelers as well. So Tata for TVS Motors, I beg your pardon, sales were up 13% above estimates. Two wheeler sales were up 14% on a YY basis. Uh, and in terms of Hero Moto as well, you saw a 5% uptake on a YY basis, and that has managed to beat estimates. Exports were up somewhere around 27% or thereabouts. But Aisha Motors, continues to be in the slow lane, given the fact that Enfield sales were muted. But the street expectations with respect to Enfield sales were also muted. Of course, there are competition, blues, etc. You have Bajaj and Hero also launching their bikes. So, a lot of competition on that end. But sales were, of course, muted, largely in line with estimates. From the four-wheeler pack, would you pick any of these stocks like M&M, Tata Motors and Maruti, and two-wheelers, already seen a dream run? Do you see more upside? At least are the charts suggesting that we could see more upside on two-wheelers as well?
See, as you rightly mentioned, we already saw the dream run, right? And at the same time, if you look at the four-wheeler segment, like let's take an example of Maruti. It's in sideways consolidation since last 6 months. I think March was the month where we saw the entire rally coming to an end, and then it entered the sideways consolidation phase. So I think as of now, I'll stay away from this entire segment on these counters like Maruti or Tata Motors, where we have seen sideways consolidation. I'll wait for the breakout to come in, because if market is not giving price correction, then I think the time correction which is already seen might just continue for a month or two also. So we'll just wait for a while and then probably pick up the counters. In the two wheeler space, I like TVS Motors the most. The only reason being the trend is still on. The trend is very, very strong. I will not be a buyer at the elevated levels, but if there is a correction of say around 2.5% anytime, then we can definitely participate in this ongoing rally. But for the four wheeler segment, let's stay away from the segments for now.
Okay, that's the view then. Stay away from the segment for now. But just before the market opens, shifting focus to the FNO inclusion and exclusion criteria. The note that came out from SEBI over the weekend. Just want to get in your thoughts. Do you think there are strong chances of a lot of stocks to exit from FNO, and any in terms of new entrants, are you envisaging any names?
Yeah, certainly. So this criteria, I really foresee, a lot of companies coming out of from this entire pack, which is ongoing right now. The one which we saw already was the Balrampur Chini, which is anyway going off the FNO series, I think from November onwards. So there are a couple of names which we have identified, but yeah, still because this came only over the weekend, we are yet to finalize a couple of names on it. But yeah, these
Hmm.
sugar companies which are already in play in the FNO segment, I think they all can be out. A couple of chemical companies might just miss out on the requirement to stay in the segment. So yeah, there are many, but let's wait for a week or two, and probably once my list is ready, I'll definitely share with our viewers.
Okay, but Gujarat Gas, that's one stock that will be in focus. Of course, there is this whole merger news that has come out, and the street has given a thumbs up, given the fact that we have a few brokerage notes on Gujarat Gas. They've said, that the the amalgamation or merger will be EPS accretive. That's the collective view that has come in from some of these brokerages. Most of them have a buy rating on the stock. Target price has been raised to 726 or thereabouts. Of course, Antique is saying that the merger between the three companies, GSPL, uh, GSPC, and Gujarat Gas, will be value accretive. And they have assigned higher targets above 700 rupees on the stock. But given the fact that over the last 1 month the stock hasn't really done much, do you expect it to pick up in a significant way from here?
So absolutely, Nandita, as you mentioned, it's not done much in the last couple of months, but at the same time, if you look at the bottom of October 2023, counter was trading somewhere near to 400, and from there, it's right now trading at 640. I mean, it's gap open by 5% today. I think this trend might just continue if someone is patient enough to hold the counter. Then with the stop loss of 610, I would definitely recommend this counter even at the present level. And the in-house target which we have set for the company is around 720 to 735. Now, this is just based on the previous high of January 2022, which we have decided the target price. But yeah, I'm very bullish on this. If someone wants to play momentum, then wait for the breakout of 665. But I think otherwise, this counter is an absolutely trending counter, and it's a clear thumbs up to initiate a buy with the long term point of view.
Okay, that's the view on Gujarat Gas. Of course, just about a minute to go for the opening bell. But before we do that, Kunal, what are you recommending for our viewers with a short term perspective? Anything that's catching your attention on the charts?
Absolutely. The first counter which I like the most is Atul Limited. Now, this counter already gave a very good rally, but the chart is still looking very, very strong on the daily time frame as well as on the weekly time frame. So, with the stop loss of I think around 7,800, one can initiate a buy on Atul, and the positional target on this can be 9,000. That's the first counter. The second one, which I like the most again, is the trending counter, which is Kokuyu Kemlin. The counter is trading right now at 206. The breakout was at 185, and the target, positional target, is 225. So at present level, also one can initiate a buy. Stop loss will be 195, and the target will be 225. So these are the two counters which I like the most at this point in time.
All right, two counters on your radar, but look at the screen. Nifty is past that 25,300 mark. 13 time lucky for now. It depends on how we really shut shop for the day, but for now, 13 is a lucky number for the market, given the fact that the Nifty has, breezed or zoomed past that 25,300 mark. It's a 3 tenths of a percent kind of gain coming in on the index. The Sensex as well, 82,500 that has been crossed, and of course both the Nifty Sensex perched at fresh highs. Mid cap index moving in tandem with the benchmarks, 59,500. That's the level we are looking at on the mid cap index. The bank Nifty marginally in the green, but we'll have to see whether or not it manages to hold on to the gains or not, because off late we have been seeing this trend of the Nifty bank index. Even if it's gaining, it comes off from the day's high and either ends in the negative zone or comes off or ends off the day's high. But in terms of other sectors, let's see which sector is taking the lead today. It's the FMCG pack that's gaining somewhere around 0.5% or thereabouts. Pharma is doing well, extending gains from Friday. You also have Realty, yeah, doing well. Most of the sectors are in the green except for autos and metals. Autos, of course, another sluggish month of sluggish month of mixed sales for auto pack. Four wheelers haven't seen such a great run rate in terms of sales figures, but two-wheelers seem to have done better, and that is reflecting because if you look at the top Nifty gainer, Hero Motocorp, that stock is up 2.5%. Sales were above estimates, and reacting to that, Cipla, HDFC Life, Tata Consumer, Bajaj Finance, of course, so Bajaj Housing IPO opens on the 9th of September. We are waiting for the IPO price that will be fixed tomorrow. So yeah, value unlocking there, and Bajaj Finance, much awaited Bajaj Housing IPO hits the street next week. So the stock is up and about. HCL Tech, another one that's among the gainers. Shriram Finance, IndusInd Bank. So some of the private banks doing well. And Nifty Bank, of course, holding on to the green. Aside of that, if you look at Bajaj Auto, that's also doing well. You have other IT names like TCS, Infosys, they are in the green, and most of these pharma names like Cipla, Polo Hospitals, Divi's Lab, Tech Mahindra, a lot of these stocks are gaining. So most of the stocks are in the green, but losers list is a little slim today. And no points for guessing. Tata Motors and M&M sales figures have been less than enthusing, and which is why the stocks are among the top laggards. ONGC, Hindalco, even Eicher Motors, Enfield sales are below estimates. In fact, in line with estimates because the expectations were fairly muted. So all in all, a good start. Losers list is pretty much slim, and the Nifty is cruising above that 25,300 mark. We are looking at fresh highs this Monday morning. Looking at the open, Kunal, where would you place your stop loss today on the index?
See, again, Nandita, as you mentioned correctly, the opening is fine, but the closing is equally very important. So let's just look at the Nifty. I think this rally might just continue for now, but the stop loss has to be near to 25,300 on the futures front, which I'm talking about 100 points away. And on the Bank Nifty, we haven't seen much. In fact, after the gap open, it has come down also. So we'll just wait for a while. There is no initiate. I mean, if someone has to initiate a buy, then it has to be near to 51,530, which is almost 130, 140 points away from the present levels. So I'll not be keen to initiate any trades as of now on the opening. We'll just wait for, a couple of more minutes, and then we'll think of initiating a trade. But as of now, I'm not so excited by looking at the index performance.
Okay, not so excited. But let's talk about other stocks that are in focus. I mentioned Bajaj Finance. The Bajaj Housing IPO opens on the 9th, and we will be seeing the price band this week. But the stock has been gaining traction over the last 1 month or so. It was in a period of lull before it picked up. So now it's maintaining that 7,200 kind of levels. Would you be looking at the stock moving towards 52-week highs, because it's still quite a way away from 52-week high? But what are the levels on the upside you will be watching out for on Bajaj Finance, and what's your view? Would you be bullish?
See, just a 10 or 11 days back, Bajaj Finance was trading near to 6,500 levels. And that time it was near to the support, as I just mentioned about PSU banking counters. I think this counter was also near to the support. Right now, it's trading near to the levels, which is a strong resistance. Look at the historical data from March 2024 so far. This counter has not given a close above 7,350 to 7,400. And look at today's high, it's near to 7,300 itself. So this is a zone to be little cautious. If someone is already holding the position, this is a good time to take the profits off table. If by any chance the counter manages to close above 7,400, then certainly the rally might just continue till 7,850 to 900 kind of levels. But for now, turn cautious on this counter. It's near to the resistance.
Okay, cautious on Bajaj Finance. That's the view. I want to get in your thoughts on the metal pack. Over the weekend, we had China PMI, the manufacturing PMI data. That was far less than enthusing. It was below estimates, and it still remains in contraction zone. So hints at no signs of recovery in the Chinese economy. So entire metal basket in focus. Metals, as I mentioned at the start, were trading with losses in a strong market. And particularly from the metal pack, Vedanta will be in focus because the company will be considering its third interim dividend for FY25. So how is the entire metal basket looking like for you? Would you be excited with any of the stocks, and particularly Vedanta? Any thoughts?
So yeah, Nandini, these counters are not doing much. I mean, just have a look at the Tata Steel performance, where it was somewhere in the month of March. It's back to the same level after showing a good uptick in between. Look at Vedanta. This counter since May has not surpassed 480 levels, and today also I think the high was somewhere near to 473, 74. So I think these counters, which are in sideways consolidation, might just continue for a while. If there is by any chance, in going forward for this entire series of September, if we see a consolidation breakout, then we'll probably look at it. But otherwise, I will not be keen to initiate trades on these counters because they are not near to either, resistance support also. So they are in between. So let's wait for either to, have the favorable risk reward ratio, or we initiate a buy above the breakout level. For Vedanta, just specifically for this company, the breakout is at around 480. By any chance, if the counter manages to close above 480, then with the stop loss of 465, one can definitely initiate a buy, and the targets can be 525 to 530. But otherwise, in the entire pack, I'm just looking at one counter, which is JSL. Apart from that, I'm not looking at any other counter.
Okay, Jindal Stainless looks good from the metal pack. But three stocks put together because there is news flow on these three stocks: NHPC, SJVN, and Railtel. All three companies have got Navratna status from the government. Uh, any of these counters, would you take a bet for a trading play or even for a positional play?
So NHPC, yeah, the trend is positive, but it's been in sideways consolidation again since Feb 2024 so far. Look at the the entire range of this last 6 to 7 months. On the higher side, 115, and on the lower side, somewhere near to 90. As of now, it's near to 99. If someone wants to go ahead with a very positional mindset, then yes, NHPC can be a good bet with the stop loss of 92. One can initiate a buy and hold the position. I mean, this sideways consolidation with positive biasness might just show us the higher levels. The first immediate target can be 115, and if it manages to cross above that, then I think the targets can be 125. SJVN on the other side, I mean, again, this counter is just doing nothing on the chart. It's been like 6 to 7 months sideways consolidating. Support level is at 130, resistance at 155. So yeah, near to the support again, one can think of initiating buy with the stop loss of 130. I will not be really so these are the counters. If someone is already holding, then you can manage the risk also. Otherwise, these are not the counters to watch out for now.
Okay, that's a view on some of these stocks that have companies rather that have got Navratna status from the government. Good booster short coming in for these companies. But Insecticides India, that's another stock that's in focus. It will be buying back 5 lakh shares of 1.7% equity for somewhere around 50 crore rupees. Buyback price has been fixed at 1000 crore rupees per share. And the record date for buyback has been fixed at 11th of September. But the stock is under intense selling pressure today, 5.5%. But if you look at the stock in the last 6 months, it has done phenomenally well, 80% up move. Today, of course, news flow based reaction. But do you see legs for more upside on the charts here? And is this dip a buying
Abs-
opportunity?
Absolutely. And these are the trending counters. We always wait for the correction to come in. The classic example is Insecticide India. Look at the previous bottom somewhere near to 900. Counter is right now trading at 940 after making the good highs. So if by any chance, the counter consolidates near the present level and again resumes its up rally, then with the stop loss of 900, one can initiate a buy. Till the time 900 level is not broken on the lower side, one can certainly consider this to be like a buying opportunity.
Okay, that's the view. But another stock that I want to pick up before we move on to our viewer queries is NBCC India. Board has approved a bonus issue of 1 share for every 2 shares held in the company. The stock is fairly, buoyant, 2.5%. In the last 5 sessions, it has seen a good 8% kind of an up move. Here, 200 levels. Should one play the stock for 200 levels or upside of 200 levels?
Again, the trend is absolutely strong. In March 2024, the level was around 100, 105. Right now, it's trading at 190, 200 levels. So the counter has almost doubled. And the trend still continues. So, yeah, with the stop loss of 175, one can definitely initiate a buy. But whether this a momentum which we saw in the last 6 to 7 months. Whether such kind of momentum will continue, I really doubt on that. But trend is definitely positive. So those who are following the trend of the market can certainly initiate a buy. Stop loss will be 175 and hold on to this counter till the time the trend continues. And as we see a new high coming in, keep trailing the stop loss. That's something which is very important for such counters. Yeah, otherwise it's a thumbs up on NBCC.
Okay, that's a view. But then now let's start taking up all our viewer queries that are trickling in this morning. If you have any queries, a gentle reminder, please keep them coming in on our live feed on YouTube. We'll try and take them up with Kunal. He's right here with us. The first query is coming in on a Kolte Patil from Satya CK. He wants to know your thoughts on a short to medium term and the target for next year. Looking at the stock performance, of course, realty stocks have had a fairly good run, but they have seen intermittent bouts of profit taking as well. In the last 1 month, Kolte Patil has managed to amass gains of somewhere around 17% or thereabouts. With a medium to long term perspective, what are your thoughts? And for next year, what kind of target would you be watching out for?
See, again, for the entire year, we look at the little longer data time frame. So if you look at the recent performance, yeah, the counter spiked from 350 levels to almost 460 levels. As of now, it's consolidating and making the base formation near 430, 440 mark. It's a clear trending counter even on the weekly chart. So with the stop loss of 420, one can think of initiating a buy. If someone wants to play momentum, because our viewer has asked for a long-term positional view, so with the stop loss of 420, one can definitely initiate buy. But if someone wants to play momentum, then wait for this consolidation to come to an end. The breakout will be 455, above 455. With the stop loss of 425, one can initiate a trade, and the targets can be 550 to 600 kind of levels in next 1 year time frame.
Okay, that's the view on Kolte Patil. But a lot of queries coming up on new or recent listings. Shatabdi Ghosh wants to know your thoughts on an Ola Electric. Would you have any view? I know the data with us is limited. It's a recent listing, but do you have any view on this stock?
See, whatever data I have with this, I can tell you one thing, that the runoff was really good. The counter is making somewhere, the base near 115 to 120 kind of levels. But unless and until this counter goes above 125, 130 mark, I will not be a buyer even on this decline. Because for us to define the uptrend, it has to make the series of higher tops and higher bottoms. That's a basic technical funda. And so with that, if the counter manages to go above 130, I think that can confirm the higher top, higher bottom with the stop loss of then the bottom which is made, one can initiate a buy. As of now, I'll advise our viewers also to stay away from this. Let's wait for the consolidation to come to an end and make a new fresh up move. We can initiate a positional trade then accordingly.
Okay, that's the view. Hope that answers your query, Shatabdi. The next query was on Philips Carbon Black. Kartikeya Singh wants to know whether he should book profit. Now, this stock, PCBL, has been in news ever since Sanjeev Goenka came out and gave Network 18 an interview and spoke about some medium-term targets in terms of revenues and gave us some bit of color on where the company is going in terms of growth. So we saw the stock reacting fairly well. We saw double-digit kind of gains on a consecutive basis. The stock has gained 30% in the last 1 month. So for people who made a fair bit of profits, would you advise taking some profit off the table, or do you think stay invested and ride the current leg of rally?
See, Nandita, being honest, we initiated buy on this counter somewhere on 1st of August, where there was a first massive volume breakout and there was a follow through. The buying was at around 345. And since then, we just kept on trailing the stop loss. It's been last 1 week, the stock is in sideways consolidation for now. The trailing stop loss which we have placed it is at around 465 levels. Counter is trading at 487. Because our viewer has asked the view on this, if his view is positional and if he's comfortable riding the rally, then with the stop loss of 465, he can certainly hold on to the position by any chance. If the counter declines below 465 on a closing basis, we'll take an exit, we'll take the profit off table. Otherwise, let's ride the rally. I think this trend is very, very strong and the volume support is also on the uptick. So yeah, it's a clear hold as of now. The targets can be somewhere near to 525, 530. I advise him to come back to Moneycontrol again and ask his query again at that point in time. Till then, hold the position.
Okay, clear hold call here. That's the view on PCBL. Hope that answers your query. The next one is coming in from Alex. Wants to know your thoughts on a Castrol India. Now, this stock, either has been stuck in a downtrend over the last few sessions, or on a 1 month basis hasn't really done much. Uh, I don't know what his query is. He wants to know, is a breakout can be a good opportunity, or should one hold? What are your thoughts?
So very clearly, as you mentioned, this counter has not done much in the last 1 month. In fact, on 16th July, this counter made a high near to 277, 278, and since then, the closing about 275 is not seen on the chart. So if someone wants to play on the breakout, then wait for the breakout of 275 on the closing basis and then initiate a buy. Otherwise, this counter is doing, fairly okayish, not much of a strength even in the present trend. So I will not really recommend you to initiate a buy even near support. Let's wait for the breakout, and that's at 275 on the closing basis. We can think of initiating a buy.
Okay, that's the view on a Castrol. Moving on to the next one. This one has come in on a Nalco from Uddeshya. Uh, I know we discussed metals, and you said that JSL is the only one that excites you. But if somebody has some position in Nalco, what would you advise, and what kind of stop losses should one keep?
See, again, positional view. So somewhere in the March, we saw the high of to 167, 170 levels. And after that, counter went up to as high as 205. But this 170 level, which was a breakout scene, is now acting as a support. So if someone is already holding the position and has a positional mindset, then with the stop loss of 165, one can certainly stay invested with this counter. This is sideways consolidating counter, not much of a worry because there are no selling volumes also. So hold on with the stop loss of 165. But if someone wants to play very short term, then the immediate stop loss is 178. Below 178, take an exit. Think of initiating a buy near 165 with the positional approach.
Hmm. You mentioned that one of your stock picks was Kokoyu Camlin. But since we have a pointed query on that, I would like to take that up from Shrivardhan Gupta. He has entered the stock at I think 186 for 3,000 shares, and he wants to know your thoughts across all time frames.
Amazing. So yeah, there was the first breakout actually rally. About after 186, the counter came down to 165 and again gave a breakout of 185. So I think our viewer has already seen the charts. If you're holding with the positional mindset, then trail your stop loss to just 3 days back bottom, which was at around 198, and hold comfortably. By any chance, if we see a fresh high coming above 211, trail your stop loss to the recently made bottom, that's today's bottom at 202, and hold. I think this counter on the weekly chart is forming inverse head and shoulder, and the target is 225. With that target, we are also holding the position. So it's a clear thumbs up on this counter with the stop loss of 198 right now, and then with the trailing stop loss of 202.
Okay, those are the levels. I hope that answers your query. The next query is coming in from Raja Pasala. Wants to know your thoughts on a Samvardhana Motherson. Just want to open the charts once. Today it's extremely flat. Last 5 sessions as well. Negative returns and not done much over the last 1 month. So whatever up move it had seen seems to have flattened out for now. Going forward, any thoughts? What should one do with this counter?
See, absolutely sideways and lackluster counter. Let's just talk about the support level that's at around 185 levels, and the resistance is placed at around 210 levels. So I will not be really. So again, to our viewers, we have already discussed so good counters. So if someone wants to switch over from this company to say the Kokuyu Camlin, which is showing good momentum, that's a good opportunity. Actually, take out the capital from here, go and invest there. If someone wants to stay invested with this company, then the stop loss is 185. Hold on for now. Once the momentum picks up, I think you can get a good gain on this counter. The target can be 210 to 250.
All right, that's the view. Hope that helps you out. But the next query is on a Tata investment. Manish Kapoor wants to know your thoughts on this counter. He has 350 shares of Tata investment at around 500 rupees. He wants to know what he should be doing. And the
See, the
stock is
margin of safety.
has been on a tear last. Yeah. And
So
I mean,
yeah,
the stock
this
has rallied somewhere around 17% or thereabouts in the last 5 sessions.
this counter is doing massive, and our viewer has suggested that he just discussed that his entry level was at way too lower levels. So margin of safety of holding this counter is really good.
Yeah.
There was a perfect time one could have spotted the counter where the breakout came somewhere in February and March 2017, and since then there is no negative trend at all. So it's a very clear hold on this chart. The stop loss can be 6,000. Obviously, it has to be little far away to continue with the trend. With the stop loss at 6,000, hold on to this position. If it reaches near to 9,000, trail your stop loss to 7,500 and continue holding this position. It's a multi-bagger trend which we have seen in the counter, and I think this might just continue because of lower volumes on the segment.
Hmm. Okay, that's the view. Then just want to tell our viewers that we are taking one query per person per on any given day. So if your query has been answered, kindly save your other queries for the other shows, for the next day's show rather. But Suzlon, Abhishek Singha wants to know your thoughts on a Suzlon for the medium term. At one point in time we saw Suzlon take off once again. And we were talking about 100 levels or thereabouts, but now it seems to have snapped out of that, and it's now around that 75 rupees. For the medium term, would you be playing it with a 100 rupee target?
Not really. So let's just look at the
Hmm.
weekly chart. 22nd July week, and since then 4 weeks, the counter went up from almost 55 to 85 levels, and now it's showing sideways consolidation with price correction and time correction. So a kind of breather is seen on the chart. Unless this counter crosses 80 levels again, I will not buy this counter near support. Anyway, the comfort level on the fundamentals is also very, very less. So, but yeah, the support level right now on the chart is 73. So if someone is holding the position with the stop loss of 73, one can hold on. If someone wants to play new, then I think above 80, one can think of initiating a buy and then continue with the target of 100 rupees in mind. But for now, it's a no. If you're already holding, then hold with the stop loss of 73.
Okay, 73 crucial stop loss there. Watch out for that. But just about time for one more query then. I think I can see a query on NHPC, but we've already spoken about NHPC, so you can just rewind the feed and check out Kunal's answer on that. Last query then, Pooja Khanna has written in, wants to know your thoughts on an Adani Power, whether it's a good buy. Looking at the charts, last 5 sessions we have seen negative returns. Last 1 month, of course, there has been negative returns. The entire Hindenburg issue came to the fore once again. So we saw some bit of jitters when it comes to Adani group of stocks, but that was short lived. But would you advise investors or traders to utilize dips to play this stock? Last 1 month it has lost somewhere around 12%.
Correct. And again, just check out the levels of 3rd and 4th June, that election phase results announcement dates. Counter was near to 900, and from there we are seeing the counter right now at 635. Though it's near to the support, it's a strong support on the chart, which is at around 630. Counter is making constant bottoms near 630 since last 3 days. Even we saw a massive dip on 12th of August where it held on to the support again. But again, I will not be a buyer on this counter near support itself. I'll wait for the momentum to pick up. The good level or say immediate breakout on the chart is at 660 levels. If the counter manages to go above 660, then with the stop loss of 630, I think we can play this entire the ongoing rally, and then the targets can be 750 to 800 levels. But for now, I will wait and watch for the consolidation to come to an end.
Okay, Pooja, take note of what Kunal has just said. Watch out for the level that he's mentioned, 660. Above that, we could see a breakout. But for now, I think it's a hold or wait and watch kind of an approach. But with that, we've come to the end of the query segment for today. And Kunal, I would like to thank you for taking out time and joining in this morning and sharing your thoughts with us.
My
Look forward
pleasure.
to our next interaction as well. Have a great trading day.
Same to you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Well, then, look, thank you. Thanks a lot. On that note, let's take a look at what the markets are doing. Cruising above that 25,300 levels. Sensex as well. 82,600. That's the kind of level I can see on the index on Sensex right now. Although mid cap index has fizzled off a bit and come off the opening highs, and it's actually in the red as we speak. Bank Nifty is also clutching on to its gains, and it's the auto pack that is seeing some bit of a bump in trade. That's because stocks are reacting to auto sales figures. Four wheelers have not had such a great run. Sluggish sales momentum continues for four wheelers, but two wheelers, mind you, have continued to zoom ahead in terms of sales as well, and even in terms of share prices. But if you look at the gainers, Hero Moto, that's the top Nifty gainer, 2.5%, and followed by Bajaj Auto, that's up somewhere around 2% or thereabouts. But for now, the texture is looking good. If we manage to end the day on a positive note, we can safely say that the Nifty got 13th time lucky and clocked in a 13th straight day of gains. Of course, that's the longest gaining streak in as many as 31 years. But of course, with that, we're completely timed out on this edition of Opening Bell. Of course, from me and the entire team, thanks a lot for tuning in. But you guys stay tuned to Moneycontrol for all your other news and updates. I'll see you again live at 3:30 p.m. with the market close.